Yes, it's John G. Sutton. Tales from the jails. That Twitch has come back, hasn't it? Anyway, thank you all very much for your comments here. Some amazing comments I'm getting from people here. Do please comment if you've got anything to say. I mean, and those people who are insulting me, God bless you, you know. I've heard a lot worse than that, you know. You should hear some of the things my wife calls me. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. And I work hard, you know. I'm not a skiver. I'm 73 years of age, you know, and I'm still working here. And I bet you're all wondering, come on, you don't look 73. What I've got, you heard of the portrait of Dorian Gray? Yeah? Portrait of Dorian, where the guy has a portrait of himself in the attic, and the portrait gets old, and he remains relatively young. I commissioned one, but it wasn't a portrait. It was a model of myself. And gradually, over the last, 10 to 20 years, it looks to me to have got considerably older, whilst I have remained virtually blemish free. There's a few wrinkles here and there, a few wrinkles elsewhere, of course, but we won't discuss them here. Yeah, people have been making rude comments. Anyway, I'll show you the one I had commissioned. It's not in the attic, it's above my desk. And this is the model I had made of myself. And its facial hair and hair is my hair. You see, it had to be magically commissioned. So I sent some beard trimmings and this is it, yeah. This is supposed to be me, but it's got older over the years. As you can see, I relatively haven't. So don't be too shocked. There we go. There you are, you see. It's got a very funny nose, don't you think? Yeah, there you are, you see. And that's what happens if you're a wicked bastard. But obviously, it ain't me that's got old, it's the statue. Right. People have been sending me notifications about strange things. One guy sent me a message saying he was on a train going to, I think it was Scunthorpe or somewhere like that, Skegness or whatever, and as he was looking out the windows, he was going along, he saw this farmer in the field servicing a sheep. And when I say servicing a sheep, it wasn't actually changing the oil or anything like that. I believe he was trying to explain that the farmer was having some kind of inappropriate relationship with the animal. It's called bestiality, you know. Anyway, that was one that came to me. Another guy sent me very kindly, sent me notification of somebody in the harbour, a dolphin in the harbour, and I don't know how they managed to do it. I mean, how do you manage to conjure up a sexual image to make you want to poke your willy in a dolphin? How do you do it? I mean, they're quite friendly creatures, aren't they? And they've got a nice little smile. But you wouldn't look at one and think, you know, I could do that tonight. You wouldn't, would you? I suppose if you'd had half a bottle of Jack Daniels and a few starters before, you know, the old black and tans or the Guinness, yeah. Half a bottle of Jack and, hey, look at that fucking, I'll have a go at that dolphin, I can get me kicks off. Yeah, no, seriously, I don't know if he was arrested or what, because this all came out of me discussing the guy who was banging the hen, you know. And one or two people have made strange comments about that. You know, how did you do it? I don't know. I wasn't there. I only saw the file, you know, and that's what he was in for, yeah. Sexually molesting a hen. And of course people do that. I'll tell you a little story here. Are you sitting comfortably? Good. I was at Wormwood Scrubs and it was a very hot summer, 1976. And I was a landing officer at lunchtime. Everybody else had gone to the lunch and I was on C2 landing, patrolling C2 landing. And I heard this kerfuffle along the landing, because it's a big landing, you know, 200 inmates on there, bigger than some jails. One landing. And it was just me. Yeah. So I heard them rattling and banging and laughing away down the lane. And of course, I wonder what was going on. So I went to have a look, and sticking out of one of the cell sky peepholes, the Judas hole, which had been broken off, some guy was standing behind the door on a chair, obviously, or something like that, and poking his semi-erect penis through the sky at the peephole, And the inmates on the opposite side who were looking through their peepholes, they were laughing away at this. So I was the officer coming along the landing on the same side as the guy with the todger sticking through the door. So I had one of these. Yeah. You've got the idea, yes. So I whipped it out of my pocket, yeah. The truncheon, that is, not my todger. I whipped it out of my pocket, went along the landing, and right, I get alongside it. Of course, all the inmates on the other side, they could see me doing this, and they were absolutely uproariously pissing themselves with laughter. And I got my truncheon, I went whack on the bleeding end. They should have heard this guy scream. Hey, I was laughing myself, I tell you. It wouldn't have done him any harm, really. I mean, I can't say I've experienced it myself. Yeah, but I gave it a fair whack on the end, right on the top of the bishop's helmet. Boom! Yeah, strange, don't you think? The way some people behave in prison. I suppose it's entertainment. I mean, don't forget, we're only human beings, aren't we? Yeah, we aren't all, we're not robots. You put somebody in prison, it doesn't make them any less human. And people have been sending in good wishes to Charlie Bronson, who's coming up for parole. Well, it's bloody cruel to keep this guy like that. I mean, he hasn't murdered anybody. I mean, what has he done? Belted a few jailers? Goodness me, you don't go in that job expecting to come out unscathed, I mean, you get yourself a truncheon, a big hat, a set of keys. You're going in there expecting you might have to do something, Loads of times I got belted in the head, bastard butted me once so hard he butted me in the head that he flew backwards and flipped over. Seriously, ran at me, butted me in the head. I see it coming, you see. So he's only about that far away from me. So what am I going to do? I can't get my head out of the way. So I give it him back, you see. And it just met in the middle, and poof, the kinetic energy must have shocked him. Because he flipped over and skid back in the cell against the wall, completely unconscious. This principal officer who was standing next to me said, "Oh, God, I'd never seen anything like that." I said, "Yeah, it was a bit strange, wasn't it?" You don't see that every day. You've got to deal with it. So if you're going in there, you don't bellyache about it, do you? I mean, only if you get slashed or stabbed or something like that, which I never actually did, And generally speaking, I found that the inmates were, if you treated them like human beings, as you've got to do, haven't you? They're only human beings who've gone the wrong way. Some of them are out and out bastards. Like that, the Goit Valley murderer said if it takes 20 years, he's coming back to murder me. He died in prison, so he won't be coming back, will he? No. I didn't do him any harm. I was trying to help him. But he didn't like staff, you see, and he thought he was... See, people like that, they get this impression, because when they're outside, they can pick on little kids. And little kids look up to them, hero worship them, Big lad, oh, he's a big lad, he's a tough lad, him, Don't go near him, Comes into the jail, thinks they can swing the weight around again. Well, the problem that you've got there is, if you do that and you let them get away with it, you're bollocks, aren't you? You're no longer in charge of the landing. They're in charge of you. So no matter who it is, they've got to lose. The screw has got to be in charge, and if you're not up to that, then don't go in. That's the way I looked at it anyway. But I never really had too much of a problem, because I'd always say to somebody like that, there's only one winner here, and if needs be, I'll go and get 10 men. So don't do it. Behave yourself, and we'll be all right. I'm not asking you to do anything stupid. Just when it's time to go in the cell, go in yourself, stuff like that. So that's a little bit of a thing. Oh, well, right, very interesting. I think his name's David. Yeah, he sent me a message about when he was in the works, with a works unit, because the works unit used to be run by prison officers who were like engineers, builders, and all that, and it was done in house. I don't think it is now, but it was done in house, and they used to get inmates who were virtual trustees, you know, red bands and what have you, and they could work with the works department, you know, doing the labouring and the lifting and shifting. And he was saying that he went to work at Risley Remand Centre when they had a female wings at Risley Remand, and he said he had a really good time. He didn't go into too much detail, but I suspect that it will have something to do with his wedding tattle, you know, and these young ladies who were locked up. I was at Style, you know, and I went into one unit, the SEG unit at the Style, and there was this bloody huge woman, and she had a block of carbolic soap that she'd carved into the shape of an extremely large erect penis, yeah, and she was waving this at me. And I thought, yeah, I'm not going too near that, yeah. Well, I'll tell you a little story here. One of the staff at Strangeways trapped off with this prison officer, yeah, from Style. She was a big, rather large lady, but attractive looking in her way, you know, if that's your thing, you know. And he said he took her away. They agreed to have a weekend away in Blackpool. Seriously. So they went to Blackpool, and he said it was really nice the first night. He said we went for dinner and all the rest of it, and she was reasonably civilised, and they went through the motions, and his honeymoon equipment was working well, everything fine. Came the second night. She said to him, "Right, it's my turn now." And he said, "Oh, what you mean it's your turn?" You know, because he wasn't a man of experience, shall we say. She whacked out this thing, she strapped it round her waist, yeah? And it was like a phallic doodah, you know, one of these rubberized knobs, yeah? And she was intending to Roger him with this strap on. He said, "I didn't stay for the second night. I came straight back to Manchester, yeah? Left her to it." Eh? Strange people in this world. Anyway, thanks you all for your very good comments about my singing, which seems to be improving, by the way. I don't know how it's doing that. So if you like poems or you like singing, you tell me and I'll do my best. I've got a book of poetry published, by the way. Well, I know you're not going to buy that, but you can look on Amazon. It's called Flowers and Collected Poems by John G. Sutton. I will recite one. I've already done one or two, haven't I? Anyway, I'm going to sing you a song that was requested following my rendition of Grandad's Flannelette Nightshirt by George Formby. Somebody asked me to sing When I'm Cleaning Windows. So I will certainly do that right now. Are you sitting comfortably? This is When I'm Cleaning Windows by George Formby. It's probably his most famous song. I'll try and do it in the Lancashire vernacular, and if I can possibly, I'll try and emulate the kind of tones used by George Formby. Turned out nice again. Now I go window cleaning to earn an honest bob. For a nosy Parker, it's an interesting job. Now it's a job that just suits me. A window cleaner you would be if you can see what I can see when I'm cleaning windows. Honeymooning couples too, you should see them bill and coo. You'd be surprised at the things they do when I'm cleaning windows. In my profession I'll work hard, but I'll never stop. I'll climb this blinking ladder till I get right to the top. The blushing bride, she looks divine. The bridegroom, he is doing fine. I'd rather have his job than mine. When I'm cleaning windows, the chambermaid, sweet names I call. It's a wonder I don't fall. My mind's not on my work at all. When I'm cleaning windows, I know a fella, such a swell. He has a thirst that's plain to tell. I've seen him drink his bath as well. When I'm cleaning windows, oh, in my profession I'll work hard, but I'll never stop. I'll climb this blinking ladder till I get right to the top. Pyjamas lying side by side, ladies' nighties I have spied. I've often seen what goes inside when I'm cleaning windows. Now there's a famous talky queen, she looks a flapper on the screen. She's more like 80 than 18 when I'm cleaning windows. She pulls her hair down all behind, then pulls down her never mind, and after that pulls down the blind. When I'm cleaning windows, in my profession I'll work hard, but I'll never stop. I'll climb this blinking ladder till I get right to the top. An old maid walks around the floor. She's so fed up one day I'm sure she'll drag me in and lock the door. When I'm cleaning windows, when I'm cleaning windows. Mother! There you are. That's my version of When I'm Cleaning Windows by the amazing George Formby. He lived at, his house was called Beryl Dean. His wife was Beryl, and the house was at Blackpool. It was formerly owned by the tenor, the Irish tenor. That's a singer, by the way, not a pound note. Pound. Yeah, it's not a note of currency. Joseph Locke. He owned Beryl Dean, the house, but it wasn't called Beryl Dean when he owned it. I like Joseph Locke. If you ever go across the sea to Ireland, we'll murder that one in time. Tales from the Jails, do like and subscribe, all the rest of it. Get this channel some followers. We deserve it, folks. Thank you.